Thank goodness we are back here. Another episode of Sports Dolls, episode 13, even though it's week 14. That damn Ireland week threw us off, but we are back. As always, the host creator, Mr. Dean Dahl, is here. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, welcome is right. Sport Dolls, season 4. I'm excited about this. This is where the meat and potatoes come together after Thanksgiving. It's title week.
Yes, because last week was exciting. Rivalry week was awesome. But yeah, we'll get into that. But before we get into that, I have to introduce this marvelous guest picker here, the one and only Cameron Gale Zentek. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad I can put my insight on today's pickings. I'm excited for this week. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a hard week. A little bit about me. I'm Ashley Dahl's, originally Ashley Zentek's cousin. And I know she's made her appearance a couple of times on this show. But I'm originally from Georgia, went to the University of Georgia.
We have alumni in the house. That's right.
Class of 21. So with that being said, I was there peak Georgia time, honestly. After that COVID year, things really started looking up. This year I was a little bit nervous. We lost a lot of our defense. They went to the Eagles, so now I feel like I have to,
be a low key Eagles fan.
a low key Eagles fan. I'm not a huge fan of the fans, but the football team is really great.
Well said. I agree with that, Cameron. I didn't even prep Cameron on that part. The Eagles team is great. Fans awful.
Yeah.
Fans awful. We know that one. But yeah, so I'm glad to be here today.
Did Ashley give you any tips, tricks, or anything to go through this?
Who, me?
Yes.
I've got one tip for you right now, and it's run that intro.
Oh, okay. Here comes I guess on that cue, here comes the intro.
Gosh.
Wow.
Did we take you by surprise on that one?
Yeah. I luckily got the trigger already, but yes, that was a surprise.
That Ashley Dahl, that has to definitely be the best start to the intro that we've had in Sports Dolls history. And in my opinion, I think
that was sweet.
Not because they're married.
No.
This is unbiased opinion.
Okay. What did you think of the intro?
Did you like the intro? How incredible, things to improve on?
No, honestly, I love that it's been varying year to year.
That's right.
And you do a different cover every year as well.
Every episode.
Or every
sometimes.
episode. That's what I meant. Perfect.
Yeah, I've been slacking because Dad has been asking me to do the what do you call them? What are they called?
Oh, wait. Cameron, would you help him out?
I'm the old one. He's the young one when it comes to technology.
Yeah, so I've seen. Can't even do our.
Would you like a sneak peek at this week's thumbnail?
Yeah, let's see it.
Ooh.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah, it's the thumbnail he wants me to do.
Oh, the thumbnail.
Wham bam. There it is. Road to the playoffs, baby. This is it.
Repping the Columbia Sports Dolls.
Did you get the metaphor, Josh? There's a road that you have to travel. Okay, good.
I get it. Yeah, I just am not very
Arizona.
Good. Yeah.
What is that? Sedona?
It's the Red Rocks.
Or the Red Rocks.
Good call.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So yeah, if there's any technology dispute, I, despite being literally younger,
Mhm.
am mentally and I would say intellectually older than my actually older father, who is, intellectually technically
Savvy.
he's just very savvy. So
Savvy.
at least I admit it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's-
okay.
It's tough.
We all have our strengths and weaknesses.
Right, absolutely. So I gotta up my thumbnail game, but
Yeah,
other than that,
If there was some hair thumbnails we could add, with your superpower, but
Yep,
See,
he's got the
Cameron?
hair. Huh?
see, Cameron, if there was a hair, flowing, and I can totally blur and get rid of the background and put you wherever, Josh.
yeah,
Wherever we want to be.
put me
Green
on
screen it.
the back of a motorcycle with who's driving. If you could put me on the back of a motorcycle with Ryan Reynolds driving, and I have my arms wrapped around him nicely, and my hair's flowing in the wind. I think that's a dream right there. Like, that just screams championship week.
Okay, before we go into looking at last week, what shirt are you wearing, and what does that have to do with the podcast?
Oh yeah, let's do a OOTD outfit of the day. Let's see it.
Outfit of the day.
What are you
Okay.
repping, Josh?
Thank you, Cameron. So what am I repping here? This is an
Wait,
old,
wait. I shouldn't be sharing the screen. There we go. Now you get a full screen.
Yeah.
There
This
you go.
is it's Wednesday evening. This is my crop top. Is an old Chive shirt that says Maverick on there. Crop top Wednesday at the gym means you rock a crop top. And after that, I'm repping some beautiful Adidas from Jacksonville State sweatpants. And on my feet, I have my free COVID Crocs that from 2020. So they're 3 years old and still rocking. So that's what we got going on tonight.
Those are my Crocs.
Those are my Crocs.
I couldn't be prouder as a dad.
Yeah, Cameron, what are you bringing to tonight's
What am I
game?
wearing today?
Yeah,
Let's
great
see.
idea.
Well, I'm wearing this nice I've got this new little jacket here from Free People. Got a little tank top on underneath. My leggings are from TJ Maxx.
Yep,
I've got my UGG slippers on as well.
gotta have it.
Jewelry. I've got this from my grandmother. I've got this one from Rochester, and these guys are from Florence, Italy.
Bingo.
Dean, what are you repping today?
Yeah,
And
we gave
somehow
you
it's going to help
two
your picks.
Yeah. What's
What's you got
I'm
going?
going with the Fiesta Bowl theme. Fear the Frog
Beautiful.
from last year.
Love it.
Cute.
Good.
So
Good.
that's and otherwise just jeans. But yeah, I had to. I'm excited for the Fiesta Bowl. There was talk that possibly Texas would be coming to Phoenix, and I've never seen Texas play.
That is not true. You have seen Texas play, just not at the Fiesta
Not
Bowl.
in a bowl.
Yeah.
Mm.
That is a forever memory. When I was in middle school, I was a bandwagon Texas fan. Just diehard
McCoy.
Texas. Colt McCoy.
Mhm.
No, I was gonna say we saw, but it was like Vince Young,
Mhm.
2000, early 2000s Texas.
I would say a lot of people are bandwagon. On the girl perspective, Matthew McConaughey.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you were saying.
It's a big school. It's easy to get hyped about them.
Mhm.
Well, Iowa State, believe it or not, is in the Big 12 conference.
Mhm.
And so one Saturday, Dee and I we drove down like 2.5 hours down to Iowa State,
Oh,
watched Texas play Iowa State, and they put a beat down on them, which was awesome.
oh my god.
But yeah, we just drove down to Iowa State for a Texas-Iowa State game. And so we have seen University of Texas play.
And we moved down to like the second row, right by the tunnel. And Josh was like a fangirl when we had a touchdown right in front of us.
Yeah.
What's
Didn't
that?
even have. You just moseyed your
Oh
way down
yeah, we
there?
just meandered. If there's open seats, we jump in them.
Yeah.
And Colt McCoy touchdown right in front, celebrated literally a stone's throw away, and then they went right by Josh, and he was just like,
Oh, yeah. And then I was like, but like you watch these people on TV,
Stunned.
and they're just like, it was the first offensive play.
that's right.
Just throws 60-yard touchdown on the sidelines, and then they celebrate in front of us. It's like, and for middle school me, I'm like, this,
Yeah. Right.
this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. And you're like, they're so much bigger.
Yeah,
in
man.
person.
Yeah.
And faster.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at, before we move forward, let's look at the pain from last week. Oh,
There we go.
There we go. Sorry.
Wrong.
Can you hear us?
yep, I got you back.
Yeah.
Jack?
You froze a little bit, but we can hear you loud and clear.
Am I back now?
You bet you are.
Jack definitely amped it up, and
Yeah.
you know, the guest Cameron, it's the guest title is there for you to lose because there's a big lead.
Mm-hmm.
So here, the overall picks. Dad, can you bring up the overall picks? The guests have been leading. So
Wow.
you're sitting at 57. Dad's the next closest with 53. So 4 picks. I am
Wow.
and nowhere near. So you are in good standings, but
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have a feeling. There's no way this year's guest. I don't know what they've been doing in the off season preparing, but every single person just comes in, they crush it. And I think Cameron, you are just going to be another one on this extraordinary guest picker season. This is the year of the guests. I think.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
it is.
Wow.
It's a little humbling per se.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, write down your notes now, right?
Yeah.
You two?
Yeah. What? So, Cameron, what is your superpower?
My superpower.
Yeah. Why are you so good at what makes you so good at knowing the right picks to make is the real question.
The right picks to make. Well, all it takes is a little bit of trust, pixie dust, and I also got this lovely hazy little thing to really.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah.
I'd like to say I've got this thing where I've got positive energy radiating through me. I feel like I can really feel the vibe of the pick and what's going to happen.
That's
you know,
true.
I'm gonna have my input as well. I'd like to think I'm a bit of a football girl. You know, I feel like you have to be going to an SEC.
I was gonna say I'll vouch for
Endgame.
Cameron. She, without a doubt, is a football fan.
Yep.
You want to be
ago when we went to the Gopher game.
Yeah, you want to get hyped for a football game? Invite Cameron over because you're going to be absolutely psyched. Offense, defense, all game long. So yeah, without a doubt, that's why Cameron has to be here this week. Not only because Georgia, because girl outright just knows some football.
I know a little bit. You know, grew up, my dad was a bit of a Bears fan. I hate to say it. I know you guys is still subject from last week.
That was
pretty gnarly. I saw the little ping pong ball throws at that last play there. Pretty good now. Maybe we can look back at it and have a good chuckle. But with that being said, I went to also really big football high school. Our division was 8A football, and we went to the national or like the state championship twice.
Wow.
My junior and senior year. Unfortunately, we did lose twice, but
back to back second places.
Back to back second places.
Roswell.
Roswell.
That's
High
it.
School.
That's the one.
Exactly.
Impressive.
To which then moved University of Georgia, and you know everyone there. It's game day.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm hearing is wherever Cameron's going, their football team does well.
I've been trying to root for the Vikings. I
was gonna say if she could just commit to the.
I'm not a huge
NFL person.
Yeah, I'm not a huge NFL person. I'm not a huge Falcons person.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, fantasy football last year, Jay Jefferson really did wonders for me.
You bet.
I was first place all throughout, and then choked a little bit and got third, but that's okay.
I'll vouch. Cameron did not choke. I was playing against Cameron in the semifinals, and I had a 25-point lead. She had Joe Burrow playing on Monday night. Just so happened to be the Bengals Bills.
That's right. That's right. I got
DeMar game where it got canceled, and so we never end. So I did go on and win fantasy football last year. So we never will know
who would have
won that game, because Joe Burrow did march down that field. He scored a touchdown on that very first passing touchdown.
Yeah, I think I got like 5 points out of it
right away.
And but that was it. And you know what? That's okay. Because you had to stop the game. It was a disappointment for sure. But that's okay.
But yeah, so
we'll see.
I got lucky on that one. But like I said, Cameron's just got this winning effect, and it's going to take over. I think it's going to continue with our picks.
Well, I'm super excited to see Josh take us to Las Vegas, and let's start this.
Well, let's do it. All right, here we go. Starting with possibly the last ever Pac-12 Conference Championship game. We have Oregon versus Washington, a rematch to which Washington did win. The initial time. Oregon's only loss is to Washington.
Incredible finish.
Yeah. And Oregon is favored by 9.5 points. Break it down for us, Cameron.
Well, I guess my question is, I can't remember quite the spread for the previous game. How much did Washington win by?
Oh, how much did Washington win by?
Yes.
They won. Oh, let's see here. They won on a last second play. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
It was a very close game from my. I only took a peek at it.
1 by 3.
1 by 3?
Yeah. So Washington won by 3, and now Oregon is favored by 9.5.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a 9.5 game. I got to tell you, I think it's going to be another close call. Because number one, Washington is going to want to fight for that second win, because they already know that they're going to be, a little bit under, because that team always comes back for that second win.
True.
So with that being said, I'm going to go Washington.
Okay. So who's going to win the game?
To win or just to fit with?
I'm going to say Oregon is going to win the game.
But Washington will keep it close.
Yep, is going to keep it very, very close. I think it's going to be a last, minute thing, or possibly overtime.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
This is a game that has. I agree with you.
If it was under 7, maybe.
Yeah.
7 or under. But
I think I agree with you. Well said. I think this game has overtime written all over it, which won't affect the spread too much. I'm just going based off of experience here. So both these teams are incredible, absolutely amazing. Washington win, you're in the playoffs. Plain and simple. Very awesome. Oregon win, you might be in the playoffs if Oregon wins this game. So, there's a lot going on here. The part that I have a hard time with is in any level, from high school to NFL, you play that same team twice. It is I believe it is hard to beat a good team, a good matchup game. It's so hard to beat them twice.
Yeah, it's so hard.
I'll say it again, like Alabama, Georgia, so good matched up in years past.
Yep.
It's hard to win that game twice. That being said,
he's stalling.
Yeah, always am. I can't believe the spread is that big. I really cannot believe that. So I think it's an easy pick based on the spread. But I think Washington will win this game outright, clearly preventing the spread, knowing playoff implications and everything. But that's what I believe in. And I think Washington is going to continue to remain undefeated. It's going to be awesome.
Wow. I can't believe this started already, but I have to give you both one of these.
Oh man.
Come on. Yeah.
The bubble says double loss. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
What you know that we don't know.
Oh my gosh, on paper. Well, first of all, the Gopher connection that breaks my heart that he left. Bucky Irving is having a year, over 1,000 yards rushing on a team that throws the ball a lot.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Bo Nix, I wouldn't mind seeing him in a purple and gold uniform.
I do not. I don't know why I don't like him, but I don't.
This team, it shocked me because I do the algorithm, Cam, and I have not entered any other conference in the Big Ten. Number 2 in offense, number 15 in defense, number 10 in takeaways. That is a dangerous combination. The algorithm has Oregon winning by 10.5, which is more than 9.5. So Oregon, I'm saying the algorithm, they will win and they will cover.
Right. I was going to say, yeah, I say these things that they're like, oh, yeah, it's hard to beat a team twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then, people should be like, okay, then make your pick that way. I just think 9.5 is tight. Yeah. It is very, very tight. So this is one of the games I am very excited about. This has playoff. This has national championship. Just like last week's Michigan, Ohio State had playoff national. This game is the same thing. So I'm very excited about this game.
And I love that it's on Friday night.
Friday night. You damn right. All right, moving on. Cameron's 1 for 1 so far. Yeah. And if I go with the guest pickers, obviously I would be winning too. All right, moving down south. Big 12 championship. Oklahoma State. Cowboys. We went over this.
Cowboys.
Yep, Cowboys. Oklahoma State versus Texas Longhorns. UT, University of Texas, favored by 15. Big spread. Texas favored by 15 points.
15.
Yep.
That made her sit back a little bit on that one.
I got to think about it. Now, Oklahoma State has 1 loss, if I'm correct, right? Or are they undefeated?
They are not undefeated.
Who's that now?
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State has, let me see here. They are 9-3.
Oh,
3 losses. Texas has, I believe, 1.
Yes, just 1 loss against Oklahoma. And Oklahoma State, just to give this a little meaning, has a chance to kick Oklahoma and Texas in the rear before they go to the SEC.
That is true. Yeah, because Oklahoma State just beat Oklahoma.
Yep.
That's a big rivalry game for sure.
Battle of Bedlam.
So, yeah, it's a big spread. Both good teams.
Crazy. You know what? I don't know. I think I want to say maybe I'm incorrect, but fan base wise, we've got a huge fan base for UT, right?
Bigger than Oklahoma State, I would say.
Bigger than Oklahoma State. I think a lot of people are going to be at this game, and I think fans have a factor into the way football players are playing. You've got to have that crowd hyping you up. And a 15 spread is quite large.
It's big for a conference championship game. It's big.
I agree. But I'm feeling good about that. So I think I'm going to say Texas. And I'm going to say that they're going to get that spread.
Okay. God, that's a bold pick. It is. I feel I was going to be swayed one way or the other because I can make arguments both ways. Everything Cameron said, agreed, 100%. Texas fan base is huge. Oklahoma State is good. I've been a part of Oklahoma State's fan base before. I mean, they're pretty awesome. But at the same time, Texas has more weapons. They are definitely have a little bit more implications of like, we might make the playoffs. Let's go fight in them. But my mind instantly goes to Big 12 football. Boy, do both teams just score a shit ton of points. Usually it's like a rock'em sock'em. They just punch back and forth. So that's the part of me where I do believe Texas will win this game. They have a lot more on the line. But being Oklahoma State, like, why not? Everyone's expecting us to lose. Like, we're just going to go out, ball out, see what happens. And so for that reason, I do believe Texas will win, but I'm going to try and make up one on the guest picker, and I will go Oklahoma State, preventing a 15-point spread.
T.
Yeah, big time.
Big T.
I will agree with one of you.
I hope so. It's gonna end in a tie, and that's gonna be the end of the season.
The thing I'm excited to see, because I've only seen highlights, I've not seen a game. The running back factory of Oklahoma State has another one. Gordon, 1,500 yards. Texas defense is very good. Very good.
Yes.
And Oklahoma State's defense is not very good. I do have Texas definitely winning. They're going to sit there and bang their chest that they should be in the playoffs since they beat Alabama, which is big. But they will not cover. The algorithm has Oklahoma or University of Texas by 11, so not covering. They will win though in Dallas for sure.
I think so. I think
that's
Oklahoma,
still a pretty big spread. 11.
Oh yeah.
I think I don't know.
It's just crazy because all these spreads, all these experts look at it, and then like for prime example, last weekend when we were back in Illinois, that Michigan-Maryland game, Michigan was favored by 19 points, and Maryland brought them to almost losing.
That was a major game.
Yeah.
I had a strong feeling for Maryland actually until just the last quarter. They kind of lost.
Michigan,
lost it.
They took over a little bit. But that's the part where I look at this, and this would be a game that I would look up that would be a true upset, but I feel is realistically can be pulled off. Like, I don't know, just that feeling.
This is going to be a defense game. Who's going to have the stronger defense?
Yeah.
Hold the other team.
Who's going to be able to stop scoring touchdowns? Who the heck knows? But there we go.
Especially who's going to do the turnovers.
All right. The closest spread, smallest spread of all night, which is going to be nice. We have to the ACC conference. Louisville. And Cameron even vouched. I said it right.
Louisville. Kentucky.
You bet. Versus Florida State Seminoles. Now, I don't know Louisville's record, Dad. Do you? Right off the top of your head.
Louisville's got one loss, and they did beat Notre Dame. Oh, no, 2 losses, 10-2. And they did beat
I was going to say, didn't they lose? They beat Notre Dame, but Florida State is undefeated and currently they're number 5.
Oh, yeah.
They're number 5. Right. They were number 4.
They were.
Speaking of which,
Florida State is number 4 in the playoff now. They stepped over Washington.
I thought it was the other way around.
Was it the other way? You go ahead and let me double check on that.
So this is what I believe. I think it was the other way around. Florida was number 4, but then their starting quarterback got hurt. Both teams won. So think about this, Cameron.
Yes, you're right, Josh. You're right. Because of Travis when he went down.
Yeah. So I told Cameron about Florida State's quarterback getting hurt. So obviously it was Georgia number 1, Ohio State number 2, Michigan number 3, and then Florida State was number 4, Washington number 5. All those teams just kept winning, but Florida State's quarterback got hurt. And magically, the next week, Washington is number 4.
That's crazy.
Florida State is number 5. So that's just the kind of political BS of the college football playoff committee. They literally have a committee to choose who goes in there.
Yep.
Isn't that ridiculous?
It's crazy. I think the quarterback had something to do with it. I'm sure that.
But there's 21 other guys that are playing.
That's true.
Oh, hey, Ozzy.
Ozzy.
Yep.
Ozzy. What kind of a sign? Who is that a sign for? A black cat just ran underneath the
That's
camera.
A little scary.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think also, too, I think it causes a little more commotion with Washington and Oregon playing this year and then both being in the top 4. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of like who's going to get maybe knocked down?
Right.
Who's going to, I think it may make the viewers watch a little more as well because that's also part of the committee, the politics.
She knows football.
You know what I'm saying? So
And she understands a little bit of politics too.
a little bit.
Cameron,
A little bit.
you are spot on.
Thank
and you
you.
know there's going to be way more fans coming to Charlotte from Florida than from
Absolutely.
Kentucky.
Yep.
That is very, very true. But
Mhm.
yeah, Dean and I always, but you know what talks?
The money.
Right here, right there.
Money
Well,
talks.
John Manziel.
As ACDC would say it.
Amen to that. So, going back to the actual football being played, Florida State without their starting quarterback, still undefeated, number 5 in the country. They are favored by 2.5
By
points. 2.5 points. Florida State versus Louisville.
Mhm. Now, here's what I'm gonna say.
Mhm.
I'm gonna throw in a little bit of Georgia. I'm gonna show. I feel like our weakness is Georgia. You know, I kind of touch back on this. Is I think Kirby loves an underdog quarterback.
Mhm.
So with that being said, let me bring it back. Bring it back. As Georgia being an underdog quarterback team
For sure.
that has now won 2 national championships back to back.
Yeah.
I feel like a solid team isn't dependent on their quarterback, to which the 2.5 spread, easy. I still think it's going to be Florida that wins.
Mhm.
And I think that the coaches have been working very diligently to come up with plans for this.
I was going to say, because
you have to prepare for stuff like this.
was it last week? Was it Florida State?
Yes.
Yes. UF, Florida State, yep.
So obviously this backup quarterback has played in a big time game.
Yeah, UF is no joke.
Yeah,
for sure.
Florida's legit. Florida State legit.
Mhm.
Louisville, obviously a good team. You
Mm-hmm.
know, let their track record. You know, look at their season pretty solid.
Mhm.
But I think, I'm surprised that it's only 2.5.
Mhm.
I think agree 100%. There are 10 other players on that Florida State team that made them undefeated. And obviously Florida State draws attention. We all know they have another 4 to 5 star quarterback stepping in who has been doing the reps constantly.
Mhm.
Now he just has to go out, get the ball in the playmakers of the guys who've been playing the entire time.
Mhm.
That's what Rademacher, the quarterback, was getting ripped on. He went 12 for 25 last week. He's done fine. He's done what he's had to, but he's not Travis. There's no doubt about it.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. You're not expecting him to be a Heisman Trophy winning or contender quarterback. No one's expecting that. And any smart coach in that locker room is going, hey, don't expect him to make these extraordinary NFL caliber potential throws.
Mhm.
Look at all the other talent we have out there.
Mhm.
Let's get the ball in their hands and let's make them throw short. Let's, occasionally throw it long. Let's hand the ball off. We have a great team that doesn't need him to be an all-star. I am going to go with Florida State to win and cover just to stir up the playoff mix.
Okay, Cameron, who did you go with?
Florida State.
Cameron went with Florida State to win and cover.
They're winning and covering.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Huge that second string played last game. I feel like they really got rid of some of the nooks and crannies, a little bit
jitter.
fright.
Yeah, a little stage fright, a little jitters out of the way.
Yeah, I mean that's huge when you've got that pressure on you and kind of, as surprise. Now it's expected. Now they know what to do. Now they know how to play the strengths. I'm very secure in Florida State.
Yeah, I think so.
This one
yeah, go ahead.
The algorithm agrees with both of you, has Florida State winning by double figures. And it just, this is the one that I want to go against the algorithm and go with Louisville. But okay. Here's the algorithm. Let me get my sheet of paper. We're going, this is my upset, true upset. Louisville will not only fit inside of the 2.5, they will win the game.
Oh,
huge.
See,
huge.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
I mean, a 2.5 spread is pretty small.
It's
if you're
small,
gonna win,
but Florida State's. If I'm a Florida State player and I go undefeated, win my conference, you have the utmost argument to get into the playoff.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're fighting for right now. Because long story short, it's so many times like Washington, you win, you're in. You are in the playoff, guaranteed. Michigan, we'll get to that game. You win, you're in. Florida State is sitting there going, how did we get snubbed? But we're not going to give anyone ammunition. They know if they lose, they are 100%, 0% chance going to the playoffs. But if they win and someone else stubs their toe, they are the first person in.
They're
and
in.
that's going to hype them up. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter if it's spread or not. Florida State's like, we gotta win.
They're watching. They're watching that Oregon Washington game. You know what I mean?
They're watching
waiting for that.
They're waiting. They're cheering for Alabama as well. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no way you keep an undefeated team conference championship out of the playoffs if there are multiple. If the top. Well, now we only have. I think about that now.
There's only 4 undefeated.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's still 4 undefeated.
Yep.
So, anyways, that's why I think it's gonna happen. You're calling it upset.
Just real quick before we move on, and this really, really shocked me. Again, I haven't done the algorithm on this conference. Offense, defense, Louisville ranked 26-19. Offense, defense, Florida State 31-20.
Okay, so it's very evenly matched up.
Very even.
Yeah, it's conference. That's what you want. That's what you want these games. That's why I'm just so rattled by all these bigger spreads of like 15-9. We'll get to the Michigan State Iowa one. Boy, that's hilarious. But now Cameron's got some skin in the game here. She's got some knowledge. She knows the boys, them dogs.
How about them?
Them dogs. We have Georgia. We have Alabama. We've seen this game. I was going to say, this might be the third time I have watched, and third time in the past, 3-4 years, that Alabama, Georgia, SEC championship. This is a staple. I love it. Georgia's been victorious most times. And Dad, you're I'm looking here. And for those people, your cursor, I can't see the spread.
Oh, there it's gone.
Good memory. We got them dogs. We got the Tide. Georgia favored by 6 in the Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Before you go, Cameron, there's only one thing that bothers me about this game, and it's the spread. So I'll let you go with that now.
He either thinks it's too small or too big.
And now here's the thing. Yeah. So with that being said, Mercedes-Benz, we're painting the picture. Atlanta is just home of the dogs. That thing is going to be flooded with red. It's going to be a crazy game, to say the very least.
And it's only like it really is only like 2.5 hours away from Tuscaloosa. It is not that far. So I was gonna say there's gonna be a ton of Bama fans.
Absolutely.
But without a doubt, it'll be majority Georgia.
Cameron, have you been to Mercedes-Benz?
I have, yes. I actually worked the Super Bowl game that was there with the Rams versus the Patriots, I believe, back in, 2019, 2020, around there. When we played there, that was very cool. Lots of famous people I saw while working there, but very, very awesome. Since the update of the previous Georgia Dome, now Mercedes-Benz, it's crazy.
It is
truly crazy. The top that opens up, closes in.
I don't even know how to do that with my hands.
You don't even really need that being in Georgia, but heck, it's cool.
It looks.
I went to a national science teachers conference right across the street at the convention center. And that stadium is huge. It's like all above ground.
And
Yeah.
you'll expect it's going to be filled to the brim on Saturday.
Were there a lot of famous celebrities at the science
Oh yeah, my
fest that you went to across I can imagine Jay-Z, Beyonce, just top of the mind. They are technology savvy.
We could talk for hours about that, but I'm more curious about Cameron's pick.
We're talking about
Let's hear it.
across the street, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Yeah, true.
I'm not gonna lie. This is one of those games where we play them time and time again. It's like a huge rivalry. It really is. We have to be so strategic because although Bama hasn't done their best this season, they're still a great team. I hate to say it, you know. They've really made a name for themselves over the years. And it's always going to be a tough game.
You know it's not going to be a walk.
You're never going to know. Even with the Iron Bowl last week with Auburn, that was a very close game. You never know who's going to win.
Yeah.
Auburn can have 2 wins.
Say it. Yeah,
and
exactly.
Still beat Alabama for whatever reason.
Correct.
It's just like that power, whatever is going to be the energy that's going to be brought to
the game.
The game.
So Alabama, they snuck by last week. But they are going to just bring an absolute brawl to Georgia.
Absolutely.
So that I know I don't feel good about this game.
No, yeah, it's going to be crazy. What I feel good about, I'm so glad Brock Bowers is back in the game. I was a little bit nervous about that. He's one of those offense players that is just he's a make or break sometimes, you know. He can catch those unimaginable throws made by Carson Beck, to which we can go into Carson Beck. He's a bit
is he another underdog quarterback?
He is an underdog quarterback.
I bet he is.
I've met him a couple times. He's not the brightest shoe in the box, if you know what I'm saying. And he might have a good throw, but it's not even with Fromm being a bit of an underdog as well, because, when Fromm was playing, Kirby chose Fromm over Justin Fields, which is huge. Justin Fields obviously ended up going to Ohio State and now to the Bears. But Fromm did bring us that national championship. And I think, Kirby is a very smart man. I think he knows how to play his players. I think he knows how to play Bama, especially. True. I think out of anyone, he's got a great
played him a lot.
Played him a lot. I don't even know if him and Saban are buddies. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But
I have a hard time imagining Kirby Smart and Nick Saban sitting down and having a beer. I just don't think that happened.
I'll add on to that. Can you think of anybody that Nick Saban would just be buddies with?
Yeah, I will give you 2 that from, I guess, I don't know, rumor or documentary. Rumor has it that not Debo Samuel from the 49ers. No.
Prime.
Debo Sweeney.
Oh.
Coach of Clemson and Nick Saban, I believe, share a their lake houses are on the same lake down the same street.
Is it Lake Huey?
I don't remember the name, but I remember hearing that rumor, and there was something about they are pals. And there was, when I was living down in Alabama, there was rumor of if Nick Saban ever leaves, Debo Sweeney is coming on in. So I think 1, Nick Saban has that pal, and then 2. This is from a documentary about just the champions. Is why am I drawing a blank? Nick Saban and head coach of the New England Patriots.
Oh,
Belichick. Why am I drawing a blank as the head coach?
I have no idea. I'm not a Patriot.
Yeah, Bill Belichick. They legitimately in this documentary are why do you think Mac Jones was so pumped to go to the Patriots and everything like that? Those two, they're very like-minded. They're not the most personable people in the world, but those two are definitely legitimately pals.
Yeah, he's a private man, but I can see him being buds with NFLers. Obviously.
Right. Oh yeah,
You know,
for sure.
he's bringing them some awesome players.
But I think Kirby Smart is more built for college. Therefore, I think he's more of a personable person
Mhm.
just to
Absolutely.
the public. And
Mhm.
obviously, he's wicked smart
Right.
for his system, winning 2 national
Yeah,
championships.
Bill and Nick sitting there together. First one that effing smiles has to go home.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Get out.
No fun. We're going to talk about champions and how we're going to win
Mhm.
championships.
Okay,
But,
Cameron,
Cameron-
we derailed a bit.
6-point favorites.
Here's what's going to go
Money
down.
on the line.
Here's what's going to go down.
Yep.
First half is going to be one of those nail biters. Bama's going to take the lead. You know,
I can see
one
it.
or two touchdowns is what's going to happen.
Sure.
We're going to get a couple as well. It's going to be one of those where we're going to be close, but we're still going to be under going into the second half. Now,
Okay,
second
so you're going to
half
say Alabama's going to go into the half leading.
leading.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, we're
Yep.
going to get
That's
play
what's
by
going to
play.
happen.
I love it.
And then what's going to happen is Kirby's going to do his little behind the scene magic.
Kirby
that he
Smart's gonna
tends
be
to
smart.
do, that he tends to do.
Yeah.
He really pumps those boys up. I don't know what he does, but they come out guns a blazing.
That's true.
They're going to come out guns a blazing, and I see this either being a neck and neck game, maybe an OT game as well. But a part of me wants to, go ahead and speak into existence the positive energy of a 6-point
Put it in the universe.
lead.
Yep.
So with that being said, I'm going to say Georgia's going to win, and they're going to keep the spread. Final answer.
Yeah, they'll cover it.
Nice.
Well said. I love the breakdown. As if I'm not looking forward to watching this game even more.
3 p.m. Central Time,
Yep.
4 p.m. Eastern.
You bet. George-
if
George-
the masses are curious.
Yeah. All of the listeners here in Minnesota, they're not worried about the Gophers. They want to know about them dogs. You want to watch?
Mhm.
You want to know some football? Watch them dogs.
Mhm.
Now, I am going to start by saying could not agree 100% more. Georgia will win. Georgia will cover. I don't like Alabama's quarterback.
Mhm.
He's just not the great quarterbacks that they've had,
Mhm.
and Alabama is suffering. Though Georgia's defense continues to be drafted and go to the NFL. They are incredible, but they just reload.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia's defense, I think, is going to make Alabama's quarterback life a
He's
living
no
hell.
Tua.
No,
I tell
he's
ya.
not a Tua. He's not a Mac Jones. He's not a Jalen Hurts. Like,
Mm-mm.
those guys are in the NFL right now. And now they got this guy who isn't playing like those guys. I think he's going to make mistakes. Georgia's going to force him to make uncomfortable mistakes. I don't care about Georgia's quarterback. They won 2 with Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, our offense is huge. Our
Yep.
defense is bigger.
Correct.
We're gonna keep them. We're gonna keep them.
Therefore, Georgia also, without a doubt, you win, you're in. Georgia's going to win. Georgia's going to the playoffs.
Boy,
And
I feel
cover.
bad. I mean, I feel bad taking this game from both of you. Don't worry, I'm not picking Alabama to win.
You're just
Let's
going to
hear
prevent
the
the
algorithm.
spread. You're
Um,
going to prevent the
back in Milrow, the 2 quarterbacks are almost identical. They have the same amount of interceptions, nearly the same amount of touchdowns. The thing that really bothers me, and this has been publicized all year long, Alabama has the 3rd toughest schedule in college football.
Mhm.
And they're 11-1 with the 3rd toughest schedule. And Georgia, and Kirby even said, I didn't make the schedule. I can't control the strength of our side.
He just freaking wins. That's it.
Yeah, it just wins. Georgia will win. This to me will be just like Ohio State, Georgia in the playoff last year.
Ooh.
There
yeah,
will be
good.
chest bumps. There will be Alabama's going to think they have it. Beck will pull a rabbit out of his hat, and there will be a field goal or a last-second score, but it will not exceed 6 points. So I'm picking Georgia to win, but not to cover.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
This is also the one of two games that
Mhm.
is going to be
Mhm.
just electric with an undefeated team. So I'm
Mhm.
comparing the SEC and the
Mhm.
Pac-12. Undefeated team
Mhm.
versus a one-loss team, undefeated team, one-loss team. Like, that
Mhm.
one-loss team is just like, win. I just beat them, put me in,
Mhm.
trying to build that resume to get to the playoffs. This is going to be a very exciting game.
Good game.
3 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern
ET.
for all of our East Coast listeners,
Yep,
right? Yep,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Friday,
just to- and I
Saturday is a fun.
Earlier, 2 years ago when we played them in the national championship.
You and I were watching together.
We were watching it,
Yep.
and let me just tell you, Alabama had the lead.
Yep.
They started off with the lead. Second half, completely choked.
Remember, Ashley was sleeping. Ashley was sleeping, and you and I are just screaming in the living room.
We were
going crazy.
up by like 14, I want to say. Now, I need to be fact checked on that, but I want to say we were a couple touchdowns in the lead. They completely their mojo.
Yeah.
And I could see that happening again.
Yes.
We put on a lot of pressure. We wear them out, you know.
That's true.
There's something in the Georgia blood.
Absolutely. That is going to be an exciting game. Georgia, Dean picks Alabama to prevent the spread. Not to win, but to prevent the spread.
Prevent the spread.
Okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. Don't have to like his picks. You just have to like your picks. Moving on, the last game. This is almost a borderline laughing stock of college football right now, just because it really is. I love the Big Ten. I love Iowa and everything like that. But the things I'm seeing on Instagram are hilarious. I'm just going to say right now. So we're talking about Michigan versus Iowa, Big Ten championship. Michigan is favored by 22 points. I am seeing on Instagram that bettors are saying that Iowa will not score a point in the first half. No one in their right mind, besides people from the state of Iowa, think Iowa has a chance in this game. Iowa only has 2 losses. One of those losses is a fluke loss to Minnesota. I'm just going to say it. I don't remember. It was at Iowa, Penn. They got shut out by Penn State.
Yeah, it was either Ohio State or Michigan. It was Penn State, 31-0.
Boom! Do I know Big Ten or what? They got shut out by Penn State, which is a good team. So what I'm saying is Iowa screwed out of 1 loss. Granted, they got shut out by Penn State, and Penn State lost both to Ohio State and Michigan.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I don't.
22 points is ridiculous.
It's a lot.
Michigan is going to win.
With everyone knows that except for if you're from Iowa.
Except if you're from Iowa.
Those people.
Now, what I'm going to say is Iowa's going to fight like they're going to win. Because realistically, they will, that in their mind, Gophers is a fluke. Penn State was a hard game.
Yeah, they're looking at it like we are an 11-1 team, despite being 10-2.
May I ask, what was the score for the Penn State Iowa game?
It was
31-0.
Wow.
it was an ass kicking.
Okay,
it was
so
bad.
I see that.
It was at Penn State, sure, but 31-0.
That's crazy.
Bad.
That's crazy. Now that is pretty crazy. But you know what? I think they've learned from their mistakes.
I bet you wish you didn't know it was a beatdown.
I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with my gut. I'm gonna say Michigan's gonna win. It's not gonna be a 22 spread. And so, with that being said, I'm going Iowa. Final answer.
All right, Iowa to prevent the spread.
Because where is the game?
Indianapolis.
Oh. Huh? Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. So, I can't figure out this Michigan team. I know they win. They will win. But I cannot figure out when they're going to cover, when they're not going to cover. You know, they go 0-5 for covering to start, but then all of a sudden Harbaugh comes back and then they just start covering like crazy. The game I decide to go back on the Michigan bandwagon of covering, they play Maryland, not even close to covering. Last week I don't pick Michigan to cover. They cover by a landslide. So I don't know what to do here. This stinks. Here's your prime example of stalling. Michigan has no right to even have this game close. But I feel like I'll explain what's going on in my mind.
What's your first choice?
I'll explain what's going on in my mind right
Let's
now
hear it,
because
let's hear it.
like Minnesota when they played Michigan was like a 19-point favorite, and I was like, no, Minnesota's got that. And Minnesota's a lesser team of Iowa, but Iowa is definitely a better team than Minnesota, and the spread is kind of similar. And Michigan just walloped Minnesota. I don't think they're going to wallop Iowa. 22 points. But I have to make up some points against you because you and I have had similar picks. I got to make up something. Just something. So that being said, Michigan, Harbaugh, back on the sidelines, off of his suspension. You heard it here first. Michigan is going to dominate. They're going to win big. Go with the Harbaugh effect.
See, I think it's going to be like 19. You know what I mean? It's going to be something so damn close.
You are right. Yeah, it's going to be so freaking close.
Or it's going to be like 23. Something silly like that.
And Michigan, they're not going to put a lot of effort into this game. No offense, Iowa, but they're lost.
Let's think about the time of this game. This is Big Ten, for whatever reason, gets the marquee night game, not the Big 12, not the ACC, not the SEC, Big Ten. So everything's going to be decided by the time they kick off. If Georgia wins, then they have to win. They're the number 2. If Georgia loses, if they win, they're the number 1. So there's nothing to prove by the time they kick off.
That is very, very true. But there is no way that's leaking into the locker room. If you're a coaching staff, your players know nothing. Or you try to prevent them from knowing anything. You don't want outside distractions. That's how you stub your toes in games like this. I think Michigan's too solid to let something like that happen. They don't care. They're going to go out there. They're going to play a hard freaking game. They're going to score a lot of points. They're going to blow this one out of the water. That's what I think.
Yeah, I could totally see, a team like Bama being like, this is a walk in the park. And then they kind of, get a little bit back. And they're like, oh, shoot, we need to put some effort in this. But with that being said, Michigan's not that type of team.
I don't think so. I don't think so. They're too mature.
It's a toughie. I'm not going to lie.
It's a big spread.
I just went with my gut. That's what I'm going with.
Gut and vibes, baby.
It's gut and vibes.
Well, the algorithm agrees with you, Cameron. And I just have to take a step back. And I mean, as much as it hurts me, you got to take your hat off to Iowa. They lose McNamara in Game 5. Deacon Hill has been horrible.
Right.
He's in 7 games, he's thrown for 1,000 yards. 7 total games.
Running backs have done more than that.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're 10-2 and they're playing in this game. And their defense is so good. Their defense, and they will take the air out of the ball. The over-under is 35 on this. I don't think it's going to hit 35.
Well, the over-under is 35. Oh, and they're relying heavily on Michigan. Wow. You don't think it's going to get to 35?
No.
No, I agree. I think the under's safe on this one. But for the spread, you're thinking Iowa's going to prevent the spread.
Iowa's going to prevent the spread.
Just think about this. I'm just going to throw this out there. The picks are in. No changing now. Iowa played Penn State, who is lesser than Michigan, and they got shut out 31-0. That's a 31-point spread. Michigan is better than Penn State, and they proved it. I'm just gonna let's just sleep on that.
But it's one of those where it's like, man, what an embarrassing moment for us. We cannot let that happen again. Otherwise, we're gonna look like a fool.
Yep.
The rest, for next year,
for the next 9 months.
Yeah.
Until your next
exactly.
game.
And we're gonna play our little hearts out.
That's
here,
true.
And
I hear you.
and
we're gonna. That does not happen again.
Yeah, we're here for a reason.
They're looking back at that on those videos.
Yeah.
For preparing for this game, 100%.
And back then, when they played Penn State, that was when they were trying to be an Iowa offense that they've never been before. They were trying to open it up with McNamara. They were,
Right.
I mean, Iowa's a grind team. And since then, yes, it's really sad. McNamara is out for the season. And with Deacon Jones, it's like, okay, let's go back to boring football.
Hey, you got to do it sometimes. But without a doubt, I was there going, no one expects us to win. That's a dangerous team in any sport, any situation is, hey, no one expects us to win. Let's just go out there and freaking ball out. And guess what? If we lose, good.
This is our last game.
Everyone, it's not their last game. We got bowls. We got bowls.
You're right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if we lose, perfect. Everyone thought we were going to lose. But the one advantage, sorry, I'm burping over here. I'm all done burping now. The one advantage you have is no one expects us to win. So let's just ball out and give it everything we got. Go for the Hail Marys. Go for the strips. Go for the crazy plays and see where the,
Yeah.
see where the chips fall.
Let's just keep tossing the ball and hopefully we'll make it.
See what happens. Maybe that quarterback's going to throw 500. Yeah, just here and there.
Pull a little Viking moment, right?
That's it.
Yeah, and
they're going to run that in the middle of the game.
Yeah, and Mercedes-Benz, when Georgia kicks that field goal to win the game, it's going to be.
Oh yeah, there you go. Get that funfetti. Get that funfetti. Absolutely. Well,
because we know that Cameron, how she feels about Georgia.
Oh,
absolutely.
Come on.
Yeah. Make it a heart. Make it. Oh.
Wow.
That was just showing off for you, Cameron. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And the red hearts,
Yeah.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Hey, you know I'm gonna be cheering. And Cameron's mom, Devin, we're gonna share this link with you. If you're with us to the end, we love you, and I'm gonna wear my dog shirt, and I'm gonna be cheering for them dogs.
Josh, I'm gonna say it before you say it. What makes me very nervous, because the guests have been doing so well, I have 4 different than Cameron, which scares the poop out of me.
Yeah, that's scary. I
guess this is gonna be I think it's gonna be you versus me, Dean. This is gonna be huge. Josh is right in the middle. He's
all right. Hey, this has been a fun episode. I'll see everyone later.
He's playing it. You know what I mean?
We'll be in touch.
Dean and Cameron podcast here pretty soon, because Josh can't keep up with the guest pickers or my dad.
Oh man.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we will find out soon enough. Friday and Saturday. It's going to be wild. Cameron, not only am I happy that you're here,
Happy to be
here. You are just a football person, and we will happily have you back anytime you're willing to come back for us.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks,
guys.
Thank
you so much. This is
if we
cool.
want, we can end the little podcast with a good old Georgia chant if we wanted to.
Cameron,
do you feel comfortable?
I
can
am I
real
capable?
Quick.
Yeah, capable.
So.
Comfortable, yes. Capable, we'll see. All right, teach us a chant.
So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, who's that coming down the track? You're going to repeat me. It's the Mean Machine in red and black. You're going to repeat me. Ain't nothing finer in the land.
So we're just repeating what you're saying. All right.
Than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. And then we're going to go, I'm going to say, go Dogs, go Dogs, go Dogs, go Dogs. And then we're going to go Dogs, sick 'em, woof, woof, woof.
Okay, because we have a little lag, I'm going to let you two, since you're real time.
Okay. Deal.
All right.
Deal.
This is my first ever Georgia chant. I'm just copying Cameron, but I'm all about them dogs. This is how we're going to sign out tonight. Cameron, bring us home.
All right, ready?
I'm ready.
Who's that coming down the track?
Who's that coming down the track?
It's a mean machine in red and black.
It's a mean machine in red and black.
Ain't nothing finer in the land
Ain't nothing finer in the land
than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan.
than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan.
Go Dogs!
Go Dogs!
Go
Go Dogs! Sing 'em! Woo, 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 woo. I know that part at least. Let's go!
Let's go Dogs! Big game.
Oh, that was excellent. I will give it this, and let's see what.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh!
wait.
we need the real deal. Give us them fireworks.
There
Give
we
us them
go.
fireworks. There we go. That was marvelous. I knew the last part because I've heard the kickoff. Go Dogs, sick 'em. Woo, 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 woo. I felt comfortable with that one, but
Yep.
10 out of 10. That is the first ever Georgia chant here on Sports Dolls. Who knows if Cameron's ever back, we will do it again because that was marvelous.
Cameron, thank you so much. This has been awesome. I'm excited for this weekend. We will be in touch on Snapchat for sure.
For sure. Can't wait. Being posted up tomorrow?
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're just gonna. I was gonna say that's. I don't think this is gonna be the first ever Sports House that ends on a Georgia chant. I gotta sign off on that. I can't top that, Dad.
Okay. Night, y'all.
Good night.